Hey guys, my name's Gray, I'm a rock singer. A very amateur one, do not let me confuse you. I did a poll. I actually did a thing as like a YouTuber, and I put a poll up. I asked, what song did people want me to react to next? And here we go, we're reacting to Stranger by Dimash. I've heard this covers his lows and his highs pretty well, as far as his whole range is concerned, or, you know, the bulk of it, so I'm really interested to hear this. Let's see what it's all about. I haven't checked it out before, I've deliberately avoided it, and I'm really keen on seeing how well his lows come out here. I think he's got some beautiful lows to his voice, and quite naturally, the high end gets talked about the most. So I kind of want to see that explored more. Let's have a look. Sounds interesting so far. Definitely not pop. I dig it. Sounds nice. Everything is on point here, not just the music, you know, the choreography, the lighting, the whole thing, the camera work, yeah, really impressive. I do love that. I don't see that in most of the types of artists and bands that I listen to. You don't see that kind of spectacle so much. It's pretty interesting for me to check that out. I mean, obviously it's on a TV show, it'll tend to be more like that, but still. He's singing in English, that's pretty cool. I don't know why it's defaulted to putting subtitles on. You can hear him just fine. Everything's very tightly choreographed. Like, I've seen a few of his live shows, you know, some songs and things like that, songs I've already heard, and it's the same patterns every time, the same dance, the same movements, and that I find that really interesting, honestly, because again, I don't see that much being more of a rock and certain types of pop. That sounds good. Ooh. Let me check that out. I want to see how low that is. When I heard in ancient times I wandered. Somewhere around there. Like, it's around bass C. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Don't hear that often. Not that clear. Not without the whole thing being like bass singing. Because it's really, really tricky. Especially in a live setting. You need really good monitoring. You know, you need everything on point. To go from your extreme lows, like those kind of second octave type notes, to, you know, extreme highs like Dimash is capable of. The volume difference, and this isn't an issue of technique, it's not an issue of anything like that, it's just straight up physics. To get those lows to come through as present through the same dynamic mic as your highs, well, that's tricky, you know. It takes good mic technique, excellent vocal technique, and yeah, the monitoring to be able to get that performance. Because, you know, I can do a pretty deep voice when I want to on occasion, depending on how you care to mic and how you care to sing and perform and blah blah blah. But to do that on stage where you're nailing like really high, screamier stuff, very difficult. So it's cool to hear it done there. It's really sweet. Backing off the mic, yeah, it's coming out nicely. Sounds good. Yeah, nice. Got a fair amount of range covered already, about 2, maybe 2.5 octaves, depending on how low that low note was. I'm too lazy to check. But yeah. Sounds really good. Everything nicely delivered so far. Ooh, that gets up pretty high. How high is that? Let me have a look. See if I can get that. I know I can get the lows, but the high stuff's crazy. Here it is. It's like a F#6, I think, which is pretty high. And, you know, to go from like, call it roughly bass C, you've got about a solid 4.5, 5 octaves covered already. Crazy amounts of range to be delivered. And like I say, to me, to see it done down the one dynamic mic, that's, yeah, impressive. Seen a lot of singers that use a couple of different mics live for that reason. You know, a few singers anyway. Not many. As usual, I'm in awe of it. His mic technique is really good, the choreography is excellent, his live singing is phenomenal. To do all of those things at once, you know, brilliant. His fifth octave notes are really nice. Very present, very punchy. And he doesn't need to use distortion to give the impression of power either. That's something you find with a lot of rock singers. And it's fine. I love that sound, but yeah. Nice. Excellent breath control. How long was that? That was a really solid, nice F#5 to end on. And again, you know, he doesn't need to use distortion. The kind of singers I listen to and the kind of sound I like a lot of distortion on my vocals, especially in that range. And personally, for me, I prefer to sing that way. It's just easier because I've sung so much AC/DC over the years. But yeah, it's really cool to hear that kind of power there without the distortion hiding the fact that you haven't got any. Yeah, I'll explain it in another video, because I know he's done some singing recently where he's using more distortion and rasp and those kinds of sounds, and we'll get to that, don't worry. How long was that? Guessing around 10 seconds or so, which is solid in that range. Yeah, solid 15 seconds. Don't know if I can hold one that long. That's impressive, and it's really good to practice holding those kinds of notes and practicing developing your breath control, your breath release, all the technical stuff. I try to stay away from talking with those kinds of terms, but developing how long you can hold notes for is a brilliant way to learn to sing more efficiently. It really helps you plug in holes in your technique, you know, problems that you might have that you might be unaware of, because it's pretty easy to hit a note. To hit it and hold it and control it, you know, control the vibrato, control the distortion, control all those things, that's a different beast. And it does your vocal folds tremendous good to practice holding back the air. So let me have a look. Let me see how long I can hold that for. Yeah, could hear it warming up as the note went on. Yeah, that's a brilliant piece. I really like how it covered the lows and the highs in the one song. Again, that's the main thing I'm taking away from this. He's got his ranges so smoothed out in all these different places, because most singers tend to be good at one particular thing. Like, for a lot of rock singers that I like, they're good in the high C to E5 kind of range. And singers that stand out as phenomenal in that kind of genre, like Rob Halford, tend to have really solid control of E5 to G5. It's rare to hear someone that is pretty equally good in all their different ranges, let alone good enough to sing it down the one dynamic mic. Believe me, it's a different beast when you're trying to hit notes into a more studio type mic in a studio setting, in a controlled room where there's less noise going on, less different volumes to sing over. Because like, as a rock singer trying to sing low stuff, your Barry White kind of sound, you know, nice and close mic down a microphone at this distance and blah, 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 blah. It's different when you're trying to do that on stage with a loud drummer, with blaring guitars and all those kinds of things. So yeah, it's really cool. It emphasizes how smoothed out all his different ranges are. I can go from the crazy low stuff to the crazy whistle voice stuff and the nice belty stuff and keep it all pretty even. And obviously there's compression, there's this, there's that, but most singers just can't attempt that stuff. So it's really cool. So yeah, what I'd recommend looking at this, if you're a fan of this kind of singing, you want to learn to do it yourself, work on singing things quietly and building up, you know, it's what I always say, it's the best way to go about doing things and addressing inefficiencies in your technique. But work on singing things quietly and then building up volume over time and learning to sustain those notes. Practice sustaining them for longer periods of time, because it really does pay off, especially in the higher ranges where you'll tend to, you know, push at notes and then wear yourself out and not bother trying to sustain anything. Sing them quietly and try to sustain them. This is a great exercise. I'd recommend trying this. You know, give that a go. Try it in a comfortable note and then build up over time. But yeah, that's really cool. Brilliant. Thanks very much for joining me, guys. I'll put a poll down asking what song you want me to react to next, and we'll see what that says, and we'll go from there. So cheers again for joining me. Really hope you enjoyed this reaction, and I'll see you all next time. Take care till then. Bye.